Strange bittersweet scents cling to the pipe. The substance inside is probably banned in other cities. Anyway, hi guys, and welcome to my build overview of this character that I've been playing for this league launch or season launch or Diablo IV release. I'm playing an Ice Shards Sorcerer. Here's my gear. My helm is really good. I am really happy with this one. I found this today. I rolled it to perfect int. It has crowd control duration, which is for my Frost Nova, all stat, CDR, and the bubble, which is going to be nice for pushing high tiers. The Raiment of the Infinite. This is like an insane pool chest. This is how you teleport in and pull everything into 1 pixel. Amazing for grouping mobs up and then blowing them up. Can't put a power on that. Uniques come with a set power and then you can't change it. My gloves, +4 main skill, crit, int, and lucky hit chance. Attack speed is also good on gloves, and I have attack speed on it for now, which is nice for speed farming. Ultimately, I think having damage with a barrier might be better, increased damage. Ice Heart Brace, this is an insane best in slot, unique pants. This helps your Frost Nova prolif. When they die, when they are frozen, there was a 20% chance that they blow up with another Frost Nova, applying the vulnerability. Boots, this is unique. I should be upgrading this one pretty soon. I'm working on a +3 Frost Nova, +3 teleport, movement speed int, or movement speed mana cost reduction, 4-stat boots. I'm just looking for a good base that has the evade grants movement speed. Haven't found a good base yet, unfortunately. This is my wand. Damage to burning enemies, core damage, close damage, and vulnerable damage. It's missing the crit damage, which is pretty big, so this is definitely upgradable. I have the avalanche passive on it. Amulet, this is really good. Frost damage, percent int, +3 permafrost, and +3 all defensive skills. It's upgradable, but it's pretty good. And I have a perfectly rolled crit power on it. This is 60% crit if I'm casting at full mana, which I do a lot of the time. So with my base crit chance, which at this point is 42%, I am crit capped with this amulet when I'm casting skills at or above 100 mana. Rings, crit chance, damage to crowd control enemies, vuln damage, and damage to close enemies. And I have the cooldown restores mana power on it for mana sustained for when the target is low on mana. Other ring, damage to close enemies, damage to frozen enemies, crit chance, and damage to burning enemies. Offhand, I just upgraded to this one. It's very nice damage. Int, lucky hit, chance to restore primary resource, cooldown reduction, and crit chance. That crit chance is unnecessary, could be better. That crit chance could be something else. It's not that stat, but I am overcapped on crit a little bit over. So with the amulet power, so this is a little wasted crit. And I have the perfectly rolled more multiplier on it on the imprint. So that's the gear. The tree looks like this. We start with the firebolt because we use this enchantment. Direct damaging skills applies an additional damage overtime for 8 seconds. Basically anything that we hit will begin burning, and that means that we can take advantage of stuff like damage to burning enemies. So any roll on a ring or a weapon or offhand with damage to burning enemies will work. Then we go down to Ice Shards, our main ability, and then take the greater Ice Shards behind it. Then we go down to the defensive tree, and we take literally everything. This is the rest of our build. This is our cooldowns. Flame Shield, movement speed. This is nice quality of life running around. Teleport, pulls things together with our chest, and movement ability, of course. Cooldown decrease and damage reduction after teleporting. Ice Armor with mana regen, quality of life for when you're running out of mana. And Frost Nova, this is our main ability. This is what makes it so that we do a lot of damage. It applies vulnerable because of this for 4 seconds, 6 seconds against bosses. And it reduces cooldown up to 4 seconds per cast if you kill things that are frozen. Then we go down here, get Lucky Chance for Precision Magic. That's going to be good for this one. Avalanche, our passive. We take Align the Ailments so that we can take Protection. This is very nice defensively. Then we come down here, take Inner Flames and take 3 points in Devouring Blaze. It's 30% crit damage, it's huge. Also 75 if you can get the boss immobilized. You can play a Meteor version of this, where you proc Meteors with a Meteor enchant if you have someone else in your group applying Burning. So you can take the Meteor enchant for up to 8% chance to spawn a Meteor. And then come down here, take Deep Freeze all the way. This is nice to reset your cooldowns and just panic button. And then we take everything here. It's just increased damage, increased crit damage, increased damage against shield, increased damage against vulnerable. I took 1 point in Fiery Surge. I'm not too convinced about this point, but at this point I could probably drop this and just put it somewhere else. And then we take Avalanche as passive. This is insane. You can take Shatter if you do bigger pulls. Shatter is nicer for clear specifically, but Avalanche is, I think, overall better choice for this build. Yeah, my wand is missing crit damage, so that's where I should have way more crit damage. So damage is base damage, and then multiplied by your int, and then multiplied by your crit damage, multiplied by your vuln damage, so damage against vulnerable. Those are your multipliers. And then multiplied by all of your increases. All increases like damage against burning, damage to distant enemies, damage against frozen enemies or stunned enemies, slowed enemies, chilled enemies, CC'd. All of those are a single, it's the increased category, like in PoE, the increased. So vuln and crit and int are pretty important, and then everything else goes under one umbrella. Okay, so boards. First board, followed by Burning Instinct, right board, Enchantment Master, top board, Ceaseless Conduit, top right board, top middle board is Frigid Fate, and then the last board is Elemental Summoner. So here is Exploit, here is Elementalist, here is Destruction, and here is Tactician. So these are my glyphs, and then the first one I have Flame Feeder. Lots of pathing. I mean, I don't know how optimized this is. All of us have been running this in the group. Snap, Chili, and I are all running this build with very slight differences. Oh, look, I managed to get my attack power above 6,000. That's nice. So that's the Paragon tree. I have not done my Renown grind yet. So I'm missing 20 Paragon points right now, 4 from every zone. I can do some low tier dungeon grinding to unlock these, and eventually finish pathing on this tree. Probably rare nodes and some glyph sockets. So that's my Paragon tree. And let's do some dungeons. Just test it out. Hopefully don't get a conduit or a, channeling pylon. Great for build showcase. No flask. So this is World Tier 4, highest difficulty. Level 100 mobs, because everything, 95 mobs, everything scales. You jump in, you pull mobs with the teleport, and then you shoot the ice. And then things blow up, hopefully. You can use your ult to reset cooldowns. Do a little kill all enemies here. Pull everything together. Kite them until you're ready to blast. That's the gameplay. One elite survived. Clean it up. Go again. Actually, let's use the ult to reset the cooldowns. Bands are nicely shattering the mobs. Alright, next pool. Add some more. Uh-oh, there's 2 of them. Damage resistant auras, not good. You don't actually have to kill every single mob. The game will teleport them into the... Actually now, I'm not sure if they will. Wait, I'll just make sure to kill these. Don't want to start the event. Oh my god, yeah, they're all here. And we did the event. Very cool. Can you stack AoE to pull monster from further away? No, there's no AoE stat in this game yet. I don't know if there will be, but currently there isn't. And now I can do the boss, so we can see single target. I could rebuild the shrine, but I don't want to, because, you know, maybe we get some good shrine that distorts our DPS that you won't have all the time. So, channeling shrine is like best for this build. Artillery, of course, very nice. Blast wave, very nice. Conduit, okay. But yeah, let's do the boss. So you can stagger it with the teleport if you have the chest. You have 3 staggers, the ult, the Frost Nova, and the teleport if you have the chest. If you don't have the chest, it's gonna take longer to stagger, but or you can just kill it. I just kind of wanted to show the damage if the boss was staggered, because it's actually insane, but you can just right-click the boss and it will die. Yeah, that's the single target. That's the build. Very nice, very fun, reminiscent of a Wonder in PoE kind of, but a lot more active and pretty squishy if you play it like I do. So I'm gonna try a Nightmare Dungeon, tier 49. These are like kind of like maps and greater rifts combined from PoE and Diablo 3. You pop the sigil, the Nightmare sigil, and it turns one of the dungeons into a Nightmare dungeon. You have to find it on the map unless you know where it is. Oh, okay, so if you zoom out completely, all the dungeon icons are gone except for the Nightmare dungeons. This one's hard to see because it's literally on top of the waypoint. This one is a decent layout, actually a pretty good layout. It's called the Gurlump Slums. I have not run a Nightmare Dungeon solo with this build yet. We've just been playing with friends, but I'm about to try it and maybe fail. There is 100 tiers of Nightmare Dungeons, and this is tier 49. So this is halfway through the tiers. The mobs in this are already level 103, so they are 3 levels above me. I just propped my shield. So first part here, we gotta save some villagers. There's some B mob type, that's not great, but I think I'm just gonna wait and be safe. Frost Nova. We gotta save 5 prisoners. Okay, I'm just gonna ult to be safe. And die to the bees right after. No. Good. Ooh, protection shrine. That is kind of nice, actually. I'm gonna take advantage of that and just free the prisoners. I'm just gonna skip the mobs for now and then kill whatever follows me. Use the protection to save all the villagers. Okay. Protection pylon almost over. I can save this guy. And then probably do a pull here. Yeah, that's good. Moving on. You can use your flame shield to like save yourself from getting hit. You can use it while channeling a res or channeling an objective, so that's nice. Nice, I proc the bubble. I'm gonna use that to save the guy. Then I'm gonna use my own bubble and clear. Alright, first objective done. Then we enter this fort. We kill this boss, or mini boss. It's a triple arch nemesis mob, basically. Stun him, freeze him, kill him. We get the key. And then we go into the jail, and then there's a kill all mobs quest. But this one is a not bad layout, so the kill all is actually not too bad. Uh-oh. I got booped a little. Unfortunately, we didn't get a pylon here. We got a broken pylon, so if you find the other part of the pylon, we can put it together, fix it. Stuff hurts. Nice. Pop the bubble. Okay, the game teleported in all the mobs. Nice. Okay, we found another map. Check that out later. And now, boss scale. Let's see, how is my damage without staggering? Yeah, not too bad. Probably not gonna be able to stagger on this boss. Don't think I can face tank every ability. Whew. Okay, we actually staggered them. And the map's done. Nice. So that was a nightmare dungeon. So people are saying that, like, I think people are a bit confused in the comments because they saw like the 100 grind and they're like, oh, that's it, the game is done, you're level 100. But that's kind of comparable to PoE 100, and it actually took longer, way longer than a PoE level 100 takes at League start. This is a tier 49 dungeon, and I'm like starting to struggle, and the tiers go up to 100. We ran a couple of 70s earlier with Chili and Rocks, and we got our asses kicked back to back to back. We were corpse running, we were wiping all over the place.
Suppress was still headed towards you. Never mind, you reset, everything reset.
Yeah. Kiting again. No. Okay, ulting, I guess. Oh, yeah. No, I'm insta-dead after ult. That is close. Get him. Nice.
All that for a cursed chest.
And that's 70s. And this goes up to 100. So people are saying that the game is done, it's finished. It's not even close. So I am pretty committed to keep grinding and you know, upgrade my glyphs here. This is where you upgrade your glyphs. If they reach level 15, they increase in size in the Paragon tree, which means it's easier to fulfill their requirements. So for example, you see this big red radius that grew to this big because I leveled it up to 15. Glyphs can go up to level 21. My XP slows down a bit at this point. Destruction is my highest one at 17. But yeah, that's the dungeon. That's the Greater Rift. It's even less density than a T5. Density is pretty varied. Sometimes you like move multiple screens and there's nothing, and then you enter a room in a jail cell with like 4 elite spect in there. So it's much more fluctuating density than PoE. PoE is pretty consistent, like kind of mobs everywhere. This game has pretty spiky density, and there's a lot of different layouts. We're working on a sheet to kind of put all the dungeons in order, like how good they are layout-wise, how bad the objectives are, how long it takes to run them. So that will of course all be public. ! Dungeon tier list for the current version. I'll update it when we add more layouts and after more testing. What do you think about Frozen Orb enchantment instead of Ignite to use the Frozen Orb aspect? Let's see, which one is the Frozen Orb aspect? Whenever you cast a non-basic skill, you have 20% chance to launch a Frozen Orb at nearby. The problem with this is that you are not scaling Frozen Orb. You have glyphs that scale damage against burning enemies, and you have 0 points in Frozen Orb. So you would have to drop 5 points in the tree to put into Frozen Orb, or even more if you want to get, which one? The Vulnerable node back here, or the Mana Restoration back here. It's an option. It's probably gonna look cooler to fire a bunch of Frozen Orbs, but like I said, this is what I'm playing. This is just a template. Feel free to experiment with all sorts of divergence. I'm not saying that this is the best build, far from it. I'm not saying this is my build. We have been slowly theory crafting this together with Chili and Snap. Chili being the main proponent because he started on a cold Sork. I think he's the one who respec to it first. I started on Chain Lightning, which was very nice leveling, and I respec to Arc Clash, but I didn't have enough stats for Arc Clash to feel good. Arc Clash needs a lot of cooldown reduction, crit, attack speed, and lucky hit, and I didn't really have those stats ready that early. So I respected this, which requires a bit less stats to feel good, and it felt amazing, and I just kind of stuck to this build ever since. So hopefully that was kind of helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'm live on Twitch probably right now playing this build. So if you have any questions, feel free to join the stream and ask away. How do you end a YouTube video? Cut.